lettuce wraps. I love lettuce wraps, and most of my children enjoy it. And so I'm going to show you how I do lettuce wraps here at our house. If you've not worked with ground chicken before, it's a little bit stickier than working with ground beef. And so I put some olive oil in the bottom, and then I love this little mix and chop to break it up into bite-sized pieces and smaller to kind of crumble that. And then you're going to add in onion. That's about 1 onion. And then you add in Hoisin sauce. It's just 1/4 cup of Hoisin sauce. And when I buy my ingredients for chicken wraps, I buy the ingredients based on how big my container of the Hoisin sauce is, because most of the time I can get about 3 recipes out of each container of Hoisin sauce. And so then I make sure that I buy 3 cans of water chestnuts, and that way I can make this recipe 3 times before I have to go back to the store. And then you're going to add in a little bit of the soy sauce. And then I'm doing grated garlic, or minced garlic. And I'll show you how to use a really cool tool to cook the garlic. This smells really good as it's cooking. Sometimes you can add in a little bit of extra salt and pepper. Don't add salt though until you taste it, because of that soy sauce, it's going to have a fair amount of sodium in it to begin with. So we just let that cook for a few minutes till those onions cook through. And while that's cooking over here, I'm going to turn that up just a little bit. And I'm going to show you a couple tips on how to grate the ginger, and also how to take that little papery skin off of the garlic. So if you worked with garlic, you know that there's that little papery skin that's on the outside. And this is a great little tool that I got from Pampered Chef, and you just put it in there and roll it, and it takes all that paper off of there. So you just have the garlic clove, and then I take this, and instead of chopping it and mincing it up with a knife, you literally just squeeze it through there, and it minces it up for you. And then on the ginger, I don't use ginger a whole lot in my cooking, but it provides a nice flavor. And so I actually store mine in the freezer and then just pull it out when I'm going to use it. And for the ginger, you take just any sort of a microplane grater. You want it really fine, and you just grate what you need, and it just comes out super, super fine, because you don't want big chunks of ginger. So that's just on the ginger and the garlic. I've already got my lettuce here ready to go. I tried to harvest some of the lettuce out of the garden for these, and we've harvested quite a bit so far, and so I had smaller pieces. So I went ahead and used romaine lettuce, but you can use Bibb lettuce or whatever you want. So let's head back over and check on the chicken. That's looking really nice. And so then I'm just going to add in the last few ingredients, and it will be ready. Once you have everything prepped, this goes together very quickly. So it's a good meal if you've got some people to help you kind of prep the measurements. It doesn't take very long. So then I'm going to add just a can of the diced water chestnuts. You can buy whole water chestnuts and dice them yourself, but the price is about the same, so I just buy them diced. And then 2 green onions, and I just take the 2 green onions and mix them in there, and then just stir that around. If you don't have one of these choppers, a nice substitute is just a good wooden spoon that has a flat part on it. And you can chop up the chicken that way too, and it's just nice to mix everything together. So we're getting ready to sit down and eat dinner, and I hope you all enjoyed this recipe on how to make lettuce wraps at home. Now that everything is finished and mixed together, you just take a spoonful and put it in a romaine or a Bibb lettuce leaf. A lot of times I actually pinch off this very end. And there are the chicken wraps. Enjoy!